If you're watching from New York, London, Chicago, or Manchester, hit that like button now and share this true story that's shaking the headlines, because what happened to Officer Mark Reynolds and Jamal Hayes will leave you stunned. Jamal Hayes woke up that crisp Tuesday morning in his modest two-bedroom home on the outskirts of Atlanta, Georgia. He kissed his wife, Tiana, goodbye as she headed to her nursing shift at Grady Memorial Hospital. Their two kids, 8-year-old Malik and 5-year-old Aisha, were already at the breakfast table, munching on cereal. Jamal, a 42-year-old auto mechanic with calloused hands from years at the garage, glanced at the clock. It was 7:15 a.m. He had a full day ahead fixing transmissions, but something felt off. The news on the kitchen TV droned on about rising crime in the city, mentioning a string of suspicious vehicles spotted near schools. Jamal shook it off, hugged his kids, and drove them to Elmwood Elementary. As he pulled into the school drop-off line, Jamal noticed the same patrol car that had been circling the neighborhood all week. Officer Mark Reynolds, a 35-year-old veteran with the Atlanta PD, leaned against his cruiser, sipping coffee. Reynolds had been on the force for 12 years, known among his colleagues for his no-nonsense attitude and a reputation for dismissing overreactions from civilians, especially in black communities where tensions ran high. Jamal parked, waved to his kids as they ran inside, and approached Reynolds. He had seen the officer the day before, mentioning the weird van lurking nearby. "Officer, I need to talk to you," Jamal said firmly, his voice steady but urgent. Reynolds looked up, eyeing Jamal's grease-stained work shirt. "What's this about now, sir?" Reynolds replied, his tone casual, almost bored. Jamal leaned in closer. "That white van with the tinted windows. It's been parked across from my house every night this week. Last night, I saw two guys inside, scoping out the school route. My kids walk home with friends. You gotta check it out before something happens." Reynolds chuckled, setting his coffee down. "Look, Mr. Hayes, we've been over this. It's probably just delivery guys or parents waiting. No plates. No crime. Go to work. We'll handle it." He waved Jamal off dismissively. Jamal's jaw tightened. "Officer, I'm telling you as a father, this ain't right. I've lived here 15 years. I know when something's wrong. Please, just run the plates tonight." Reynolds laughed outright, a sharp, mocking bark that echoed in the morning air. A black dad playing detective. Save the drama for the movies. Get in your truck. He turned away, muttering under his breath about time wasters. Jamal stood there, fists clenched, staring at Reynolds' back. He wanted to argue, to yell, but the school bell rang, and parents honked behind him. He got in his truck, heart pounding, and drove to the garage. "All day," he texted Tiana. "Cop laughed me off. Praying for the kids." She replied, "Stay strong, babe. God's got them." Meanwhile, Reynolds clocked in at the precinct. His partner, Officer Lisa Grant, asked about the morning. "Some mechanic thought he was Sherlock Holmes," Reynolds snorted. "Told him to buzz off." Grant raised an eyebrow. "You sure? Schools are on alert after that kidnapping alert last month." Reynolds shrugged. "Nah, guy's paranoid. Stats show most tips like that are nothing." By 2:30 p.m., Elmwood Elementary dismissed. Malik and Aisha joined a group of 10 kids walking the 3-block route home, just like every day. Jamal finished an oil change early and decided to surprise them, parking a block away. He watched from his truck as the kids laughed and skipped along Oak Street. That's when he saw it, the white van, idling at the corner. 2 men in hoodies stepped out, one grabbing a little girl from the group. Screams erupted. "Help! Strangers!" Aisha yelled, clutching Malik's hand. Jamal bolted from his truck, sprinting 50 yards. "Get away from my kids," he roared. The first man shoved the girl into the van, but Jamal tackled him to the ground. Punches flew, Jamal's mechanic strength landing hard on the man's jaw. The second guy lunged at Jamal with a knife. "Stay back, or she dies," he snarled. Across the street, Reynolds was on routine patrol, radio crackling. He heard the screams but hesitated, thinking it was a playground scuffle. Then he saw Jamal wrestling the knife-wielding thug. Reynolds finally drew his gun. "Police! Freeze!" But the van driver gunned the engine, peeling out with the girl inside. Reynolds fired 2 shots, tires blew, but the van swerved wildly toward the kids' group. Aisha tripped, the van barreling straight at her. Jamal shoved his son aside and dove for Aisha, but the van clipped him, sending him flying 10 feet. Blood pooled under his head. Reynolds stood frozen for a split second, then charged. "No," he bellowed, tackling the emerging driver as the van crashed into a tree. Chaos reigned. Parents swarmed, phones out, filming. Grant arrived, cuffing the 2 men. Paramedics rushed Jamal onto a stretcher, unconscious, but alive. Aisha sobbed in Tiana's arms, who had raced from work. The kidnapped girl, little Emily Carter, was pulled unharmed from the wreckage. At the precinct, Chief Harlan Brooks reviewed bodycam footage that evening. Reynolds' laughter from the morning played back. "This is bad," Brooks said. "Hayes warned you. You mocked him." Reynolds paced. "Chief, save it. Press is all over this. Hayes is in surgery. If he pulls through, he's a hero. You're on desk duty." News vans swarmed Atlanta General Hospital. Reporters shouted, "Officer, did you ignore the dad's warning?" Reynolds ducked inside, face pale. Word spread like wildfire. By 8 p.m., CNN broke the story. Black father risks life to save kids after cop dismisses plea. Jamal's surgery lasted 4 hours, skull fracture, broken ribs, but doctors said he'd recover. Tiana held a vigil outside, flanked by neighbors. "My husband told that cop." They laughed. But Jamal never backed down. The 2 suspects, Victor Lang and Derek Voss, were booked. Lang, 28, had a rap sheet for assaults. Voss, 31, was linked to a human trafficking ring out of Miami. Plates traced the van to a chop shop. FBI agents swarmed, confirming it was a planned school abduction for ransom, targeting Elmwood because of wealthy parents. Reynolds sat in interrogation with Internal Affairs. Detective Sarah Klein grilled him. "Bodycam shows you laughing at 7:22 a.m. Hayes said, "Check the van tonight." You replied, "Black dad playing detective?" Explain. Reynolds sweated. "It was a joke. I didn't think, joke? 9 kids nearly kidnapped. Hayes is fighting for his life because you dismissed him." Klein slammed the table. "Racial profiling. Neglect of duty. You're looking at suspension, maybe charges." Across town, Jamal woke in ICU at 10 p.m. Tiana gripped his hand. "Babe, you did it. Emily's safe. All the kids are." Jamal whispered. "The cop," he laughed. News exploded. Fox News, hero dad ignored by woke cop, racial bias exposed. MSNBC, systemic racism in policing. Dad's warning mocked, children endangered. BBC from London covered it. US father saves schoolkids after police laughter. Social media erupted. #Justice for Jamal trended with 2 million posts. Celebrities like LeBron James tweeted, "Real heroes wear work boots, not badges. Shout out Jamal Hayes." Mayor Elena Vasquez called an emergency presser at midnight. Jamal Hayes is the heart of Atlanta. Officer Reynolds will face full investigation. "We're auditing all tips protocol." Reynolds' wife, Karen, confronted him at home. "Mark, the whole city's calling you a racist. You laughed at a black man begging for his kids." "It was nothing," he yelled. "Stats, 90% of tips are bogus." Bogus. A trafficking ring. You're done. By dawn, GoFundMe for Jamal hit $500,000. Schools nationwide issued alerts. Governor's office announced a task force. Jamal, bandaged in bed, gave his first interview to local ABC. "I ain't no hero. Just a dad." That cop laughed, "But I couldn't wait. My kids come first." Tears welled. "Tell him, next time, listen." Wednesday morning, October 23, 2025, headline screamed, "Cop laughed at black dad's warning." Next day, the news called him a hero. Jamal walked out of the hospital, arm in sling, greeted by cheering crowds. Emily Carter hugged him. "Thank you, Mr. Hayes." Her parents wept. handing him a $100,000 check from community donors. Reynolds showed up unannounced, uniform crisp. Cameras rolled. "Mr. Hayes," he said, voice breaking, "I was wrong. Dead wrong. Your warning saved lives." I laughed. "I regret it every second. You're the hero. Not me." Jamal stared, then extended his good hand. "Officer, we both messed up that morning. But you stopped that van. Shake on it, for the kids." They shook. Flashbulbs popped. Chief Brooks promoted Reynolds to lead the new Community Alert Unit, but only after mandatory bias training. "Hayes taught us all," Brooks said. The twist hit at the press conference. Voss confessed in custody. The ring targeted Atlanta because a corrupt tipster inside the precinct leaked school routes. It was Reynolds' own partner, Grant, on the take. She was arrested mid-speech, cuffs clicking. "No," she screamed. "It wasn't." FBI hauled her away. Reynolds collapsed, exonerated but shattered. "I trusted her. Jamal, you saved me too." Nationwide reforms followed. Mandatory tip verification apps, dad-led safety councils. Jamal started the Hayes Watch program, training 5,000 volunteers in weeks. From New York to London, Chicago to Manchester. If this story moved you, smash like, subscribe for more real-life triumphs, share with every parent you know, and comment, listen to the dads. Because Jamal Hayes proved, one warning, one fight, heroes rise where laughter falls.